places do change, and I think people change. And you know what really makes me think people change? Because of how I change. Can people change? You know the old cliche, a leopard never changes its spots. But what about people? Can they really change? Hey everybody, Randy Gage here. Welcome to another episode of Prosperity TV. And that's the topic I want to explore this week, because I believe they can. And what made me think of this is I'm actually filming this. I'm in downtown Moscow here, doing an event this weekend. And let me tell you what has happened. Think about Russia and how Russia is viewed around the world. Because if you fought in World War II, right, or if you knew people who fought in World War I, you viewed Russia a certain way. If you grew up like I did, my formative years were in the Cold War. And, the president, when all the they had all the missiles in Russia, and we had all the missiles, and the Cuban Missile Crisis, of course, and then President Reagan called it the evil empire. Now, of course, I've come to Moscow probably, this might be my 25th or 30th time I've been here. And as I watch the change take place, it's really extraordinary what's happened. And I think of Miami and how that's changed and how. So, places do change, and I think people change. And you know what really makes me think people change? Because of how I change. Because flat out, if you knew me 10 or 15 years ago, I don't think you wanted to know me. I just don't. And not because I was a mean person or not because I was a bad person, just because I hadn't developed my consciousness. I wasn't dumb, I wasn't stupid, I was ignorant. I was ignorant of what can happen when you get on the path of personal growth and self-development. And as I did, and of course I think probably if I film a video 10 years from now, I'll say, you didn't want to know me now. You want to, because that's just the reality. You may think I was always this sexy and charming and humble, but I wasn't. I have developed, and I'm sure you develop, anybody who watches this show on a regular thing, you develop. So think of it this way. Another example is I flew here on a couple of different airlines because I had to switch up my ticket because I wanted to be in Miami for opening night for the Marlins. You remember the show we did, I think, last week. So I had to fly American to New York and then Delta from New York to Moscow. Now it's funny, a couple of years ago, I would have never flown Delta because they were going into bankruptcy and the service was so miserable and horrible, and I was flying American. Now it's a couple of years later, and you know what? I hate to fly American. They're miserable, they're going into bankruptcy, and Delta's getting better, and they're friendly and they're happy and the service is getting better. So what I learned is I have a statute of limitations on airlines and countries. Same way. There was a time where I wouldn't come to Russia. There was a time where I wouldn't go to Colombia. Now I go to those places, and there's other places I wouldn't go. They change. Airlines change. Countries change. And people change. So you know what? Give the people in your life the statute of limitations too. Because we've talked about staying away from negative people, right? You remember that show? That's one of the most popular shows on this channel. But let's always, when we do have negative people in our life, and they decide they want to change, and they decide they want to get, on this path of growth, let's give them that statute of limitations and allow them to get a fresh start. And let that also be true for you. You can always give yourself a fresh start. So let me know what you think. Drop down below and share your comments. And please get the word out on the channel. And until next week, peace. I love you guys. And live rich.